Coach, there are a few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect clear afternoon. Heck, you can see all the way to Mount Rainier in the distance here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Seattle Seahawks. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Throwing on first down is Murray. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
That was very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Throwing is Murray on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards, and the Bears take over. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll try the left side. Green. 38 yards on the scamper there. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
On 2nd down now. It's Green. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. 1st down, Murray. Trying to lay one up deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
I'm coming for you. You mine. Go. 56 the mic. 56 is the mic. Watch the run. Watch the run. 56 the mic, boys. 56. Check 56.
Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear him now. 3rd and goal. They'll try the left side. It's Green, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter as the Bears push further out in front. Point after, right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose. Do what you do best. Go get the quarterback.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Murray now to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Barnes.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Let's go. 0-0, Mike free. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
On 3rd down, Murray. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The sack there by Roquan Smith. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly?
And this is taken in at the 5. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Josh Malone, his 4th touchdown on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Murray now. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards into Chicago, first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. They'll drop the throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They'll try again from the 36 on second and 10. Second and 10. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
On the double. Hey, Haywood.
Check 50.
Hey, Sam off. Look at me, Zipper.
Put that team out of the
Go.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's fourth down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
At their own 16-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. Murray again, second and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford any more at this point. And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
At the 40-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Rip right. Check, boys.
Ready?
They'll try the left side. It's Green.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Call it a gain of 5 as they move the sticks.
But when we go back to our conversation with the defensive coordinator, that type of a play was not a surprise to him. He expected trickery in this game, yet somehow his defense, they still took the cheese and got caught in the mousetrap.
61, matchbox like that.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
At the 50-yard line.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
55.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point right down the middle. And a route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Murray now on first down. Going deep for Hopkins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Go get it.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Check 50.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Hey, Orbit. Go.
Now back to throw. Now he'll go deep down the middle. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
Call that one an even 60 yards. 6-0. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now a handoff looking right. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Mike 3. Mike 3. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Mike 3.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Throw left side complete. That's Jordan. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Murray with a 3rd and long. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Roquan Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Green. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Looking to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jaron Reed able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken from just outside the 30. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Murray fighting, lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
The 1st down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with 2nd and very long. Second down, Murray sets to throw, and he's got the hook up to Landry. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, Murray. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 32. Past the 20. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, Well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now they try the right side here. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Bandit. Short, short. 0-0, Mike free. I got you.
To throw, it's Murray. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That goes for a gain of 31. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Murray now on 1st down. Going deep for Hopkins. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Seattle. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. The extra point up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They're going to look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Back to the air on second down, it's Murray. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on third down. Throwing is Murray on third down. And that is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Let's go. 30 base.
And it's third down.
Even. 4 down. Even.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
The quarterback keeps it.
Here comes the Bears punter now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And as soon as they hand a rookie his playbook, they say you better make your mark on special teams if you want to hang around. I'd say returning one for a touchdown will definitely leave a memory.
Yeah, that's a pretty indelible mark here early on in his career. No problem there on the extra point. And that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show.
Brings up second and
We got a plane to catch.
24-yard line.
Set up. 50, plant.
Right there in the middle. 55. Squeeze, double.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.